Building, man. Eventful past weekend for us.
Very much so.
Met some big people.
We had it's LA. It was a very star-studded weekend of activities. I don't know what was the most craziest part, but shit, Sunday.
Sunday was.
Shout out Nate Jackson.
Shout out to the great Nate Jackson. His special dropping on Netflix July 8th.
Yep.
Go check that out. He gave us some game, man. He gave us some, what would you call it, financial literacy?
He gave us a reckoning. Fuck financial literacy. That was a reckoning. And it's really, you know how y'all, there's levels to shit, and you know who's doing it on like a high level right now, just high output, high production, the hottest comics in the game right now, and obviously the Matt Rife, Nate Jackson, Josh Johnson, a few other comics are just like, you see their names and videos everywhere right now. Nate Jackson obviously is one of those people. And as comics, we look at it as like, okay, you know, say doing this thing, but you don't really have a grasp of how they doing it. Pause. So we somehow got on the conversation about, damn, man, big rooms all across the country. I would say something along the lines of, oh, man, some of those big ass rooms, they're probably making $1 million a night on some of these venues. And that's how the conversation started.
And let me interject. They asked me, did I think one comedian in particular was doing $1 million a show? And I was like, nah. Not because I don't think he got the sales. I just didn't think that was a feasible number.
Mathematically possible for the setup.
Yeah, like I thought, like, to make that, how much do you have to sell a ticket for? And what venue you have to be in to be making that per show?
Right. And I was thinking just gross sales of $1 million, which to me is $1 million night. Right?
Oh, yeah,
so
that was the other thing too. I thought they was talking
yeah.
net. So I was like, hell no, we going back and forth or whatever. But gross, even gross, I still thought
even gross is crazy. Yeah, the fact
for this particular comedian, because I didn't realize the venues that he might possibly be doing on a regular.
Yo, and so Nate overheard us. Nate's on Twitch live streaming his everyday comedian life. He about to do a set at the Laugh Factory. There's a couple of comedians just sitting down in the corner having this debate. He happens to sit like maybe 4 feet away from us, overhears us saying this, and goes, yeah, you could probably make $1 million in a show. And Mike over here still like, I don't know, man. And I'm pretty sure you could. I just think that it's possible. And in the midst of us having our, what do you call it, broke boy comedian conversation right here.
Starving artist dialect.
Starving artist dialogue. And Nate is so kind to, I don't know if I got one off you. Please tell me I got it off you. No, I got it off you. Nate hands us, he's like, you know what?
Enlightens us.
He said, here, this is from yesterday. This is just one show from, 2 shows from yesterday I did at the same venue. And it's a crumpled up check.
It looked like he went swimming in it.
Like, you know,
he had swimming trunks on and it was in the pocket and then he went.
You know how you fold your fucking CVS receipt because it's so long and you'd be like, here, just fucking put this in my pocket. It was a folded receipt, but the one corner that we did see was the payable amount. And all 3 of us broke boy comedians looked at it, looked back up at him, looked at it again, and just sat back like this.
But to be clear, it was not because people will see this and then take it out of he was not trying to flex or like stunt.
No,
he was like, I hope this helps you have a better understanding for the conversation you're having.
He was providing logic to the possibility of it, saying this is just one show I did yesterday, but there's venues that are way bigger and you can obviously generate more. So with that in mind, we're like, okay, yeah, clearly the number we were talking about is doable, but also, goddamn, one work day is crazy. So shout out Nate Jackson. I want you to know personally, that affected me so much. I just started staring out the window the next 2 days in the morning, just like, I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work. So and then he went on stage and killed it, by the way.
And he live streamed that.
Live streamed him killing it. And I'm just like, yo, everything I watched from that stage set he did and the conversation we just had, I said, yeah, he is doing exactly what he's supposed to do, earning that check. I went up to him after this set and said, yo, man, you killed that. Thank you for showing me that. Everything checks out. He's like, oh, so if I had a bad set, you'd have told me to unfold that check? I was like, I mean, I'd have told you to straighten it out or something. You can't fold up a check and have a set like that. But no, he earned the folded up set as a check.
But like, the thing too that I think for me at least is this important when I say this is that maybe 5 minutes after he showed us the check, he went back to
Work.
I mean, he was still talking to us. We were all still having a conversation. And I don't know if he felt bad or in a moment was like, I don't think I should have done that. Because he said, I don't know if I should have done that. Now y'all looking at me like, ugh. And I was like, nah, I needed that because that was inspiration. And I told him straight up, I said, if any one of us, because it was 3 of us, I didn't know the other dude.
Oh, shout out Mo Hill. Very funny comedian based out of Ohio.
Okay, yeah. So you know him. I didn't know him, right? So, and I know you well enough that I know you didn't feel like, man, fuck this.
No.
So I said, if anybody is here who looked at that and was like, man, this month, I'm like, don't be around them because that's not the kind of people you want. If you show me some shit like that, like, yeah, this is possible, bro, I'm thankful because now I'm inspired.
Yo, I think that we were the right people to have done it for. And I think he wouldn't have done that for any other random
he knows
comics.
us.
I think he was like, yo, these young guys coming up, there's a spots to be taken, and y'all need to know that this is what happens when you get those spots. And like, I just saw nothing but motivation from it, man, because to me, this last 7 days for me have been like insane in terms of motivation. Just seeing little small results, and then you see things like that, somebody coming from up, coming back down and go, yo, I'm in the league. They in the NBA, we in the G League. But he telling you this is a game check in the league, bro. Work on that jumper, work on your free throws, work on your hustle, and they might call you up one day. That's how I felt about that. And I was just like, you're right, bro.
The other thing about that too was if the comedian that we were talking about, I mean, I'll say it's not a big, it was Matt Rife. We were the debate about was he doing $1 million a show. That's what we're talking about. It's not a negative, so I'll say it. And he's probably actually doing more than that, especially with merch. Guaranteed.
Yeah, and if you ask him, he probably say, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about. So if it was Matt there and we were like, hey, look, we're not trying to be in your business. And he's like, oh, no. And he pulled out a check and it had $1.2 million or something on it. That would have not had the same effect on me as what Nate did because the rooms Nate are doing are very, very tangible. What Matt is doing is sort of an anomaly.
Sort of. When you get to that level, every era or generation has comics that you're like, that's a crazy room to do, my boy. Like, I don't even know if he's doing comedy no more in that big ass room. Like,
yeah, so it's
he's
like
on that wave right now, like the goddamn room.
I mean, we all want to be. I can't speak for you, but for me, I want to reach my maximum potential.
Absolutely.
That may not be arenas. That may not, whatever my maximum potential is. If I reach that, I've succeeded. So you see someone like Matt, that may not be my maximum potential. My max may be here, or maybe that in a different light, or whatever. But him showing that to me would have just been like, damn. That's like Kevin Hart showing me a check, like, oh, LOL did this. I'll be like, okay. That doesn't motivate me at all because I'll be like, bro, that's a whole bunch of, that's different. What Nate did was, bro, you could, realistically, what Nate's doing from today, we could be doing that in 2 years, a year from now.
What Nate Jackson did, yeah. And like, he's got the accolades. Like, he's been on TV. He's done like podcasts and whatnot. But like, for him to do that, and I think that for most general public people to be picking up on him now versus 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they've been in the game for a minute. But if you said the average person that go to a show now, they might be like, well, I may have seen him before, but I really know who he is now, right?
Oh, facts.
So
that's why it looks like overnight success.
That's why it feels like, but then overnight for Nate is what, 25 plus years, right? He's been in the game 28 years. And you think about that part and you go, all right, let me humble myself. Like I'm year 11, right?
I just said year 6, 2 weeks ago.
So like if we sat here and go, man, they taking out money. Like, nigga, what? Get 10, 15 plus more years in the game before you start taking somebody, like getting upset about somebody else's check. So for me, I'm always from a place of like, yo, they've been doing it, they earned it. You know what I'm saying? Like just sticking around for 20 plus years, you are already in the earnings of something more because you deserve it if you stuck around for 2 decades in this fucking genre. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this, right? And then I'll go on to the next or how our week been playing, the last 7 days played out. So, story about Nate Jackson. I moved to LA December 30th of 2019. The first night I decided, all right, it's time to go know people and introduce myself to this comedy world. I went to Chocolate Sundays. It was in end of January, maybe. I go into Chocolate Sundays. I'm looking at the lineup or whatever. Nate Jackson's on there. Nate Jackson, France, Cassius, a couple other people. I screenshot it there's a good reason. I sit down, the show's going on. I go to the bathroom. I'm leaving the bathroom, and you know the Laugh Factory, so the comedians be standing under, like where the bathroom's at.
By the big booth.
When I walk out, me and Kevin Hart bump into each other. I'm like, oh shit, my bad. I'm thinking it's just a regular. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, you going up? He was like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? And at that moment, I was like, this is what LA is about. Coming to the comedy club and someone like Kev just dropping in and doing a set. Well, he bumped Nate Jackson. And you know, sometimes they bump him and they still let him go, but nah, he got bumped. He just didn't do that show. And I remember France going up after Kev and was like, yeah, give it up for my opener or whatever. And he was like real cocky about it. He did good. So it wasn't like, you come out like that, you better, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking back now, if you look back, that was in 2020, January, 5.5 years ago. He went from, I'm getting bumped from, that nigga, they would not even dare fix their lips to say that we're bumping Nate Jackson for Kev on a lineup with other comedians. He's the one not getting bumped. And Kev's probably not gonna close out the show. Nate's gonna close it out. So to go from getting bumped to, hey, we're gonna have you close it out after Kev, he just gonna do 30 and leave.
Yeah, like that Sunday night, there were comics there who wanted to perform, but Nate was already up. And it was like, are we gonna let somebody else go up after Nate, or are we gonna end the show with Nate?
Yeah, and the one comic that we thought was gonna go up could have done an equally good job.
And at due time, it's gonna be him that you're not gonna go up at, like maybe a year, or maybe a year and a half max. That's gonna be he closing the show out. Nobody's going up after that because ain't nobody gonna want to go.
I say year max, but yeah, that was
So this journey has been crazy, man, and I think this is the best part about a portion of this podcast. The best part about this is that maybe people who come along on a ride with us will see in the future, but like you see us coming from a vantage point of looking up, right? And maybe, as we want it to be, that there's a point that the vantage point will be level. And then the vantage point will be, man, the young guys really doing their thing. I'm glad they like to ask us questions. So I think this is the best part of the journey. And as Tony always says it, but he said it to me, and I never forgot it. Enjoy being a nobody.
He said that we was
there, right? I was like, enjoy being a nobody, because to me, honestly, and I believe this is the best part. Me wanting everything I don't have. Because when you get everything, you know how humans are. We just go,
what's next?
This is nice, but I guess I haven't done what? Performing for the fucking Queen of England or some shit. Like, you just keep adding on shit. But this journey of going up and seeing like the OG comics being like, even being was dope enough to even look at us and go, I can show you a little nigga something. Like, that's a credit in itself that they even think enough of us to do that. You wouldn't do that to any open micer. You wouldn't do that to any regular comic. Like,
it's a respect thing. It's like, yo, I see you guys. I know what you're doing. You with the right people.
When Nate Jackson walked in on his live stream, I'm trying to find that goddamn clip. He dapped us up, and then he turned back to his camera of the camera. He had a videographer the entire time with a host in his video. He wasn't doing his live stream. Somebody was working for him.
No, he has an employee. He
had employees there. And he turns back to the camera and goes, "This is the future of comedy right here." And I gotta find that clip. So if you follow Nate Jackson on Twitch on Sunday, July 22nd,
I told you,
find that clip.
I'm gonna send it to
shit.
you. I told you, I got the link.